Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. Happy New Year to you all. Happy 2011. Let's see what this year brings. We're hoping for a few things. Hoping for Diablo 3 for one. That should be exciting. On top of that, we're also going to be looking to get that StarCraft 2 expansion, although I don't believe that's going to come out this year. I think Heart of the Swarm is slated for 2012, but, maybe early 2012. That would be good, so kind of right around the corner. But we do have another full year of StarCraft casting, commentary, and strategies ahead of us. Looking forward to it. Should be fun and exciting. Going to be starting it off with a commentary to kind of kick things off with a bang here, and Reen not producing any probes, and that is because he's coming down with a proxy pylon. I'm not sure if I introduced the players. We're looking at a game today between GoOdy, our purple Terran player, and mTw's Reen, the pink Protoss player. And Reen starting things off again with a bang by proxy pylon and gateway. We are seeing a zealot rush from Reen. I have not seen this in ages. This is going to be pretty exciting if GoOdy does not scout for that, and he may not even be scouting for it because he too hasn't seen it in ages. This doesn't, this is something that happens every now and then in ladder games, but no. GoOdy, well aware of it, scouting out that gateway. He knows that the Zealot push is coming, taking a whole bunch of SCVs off the line to try to kill it before it gets up, trying to do as much damage as possible. You can see he's only mining with 3 SCVs right now. More probes coming out over here for Reen as well. He wants to continue up that production, try to get his economy up. If he can chrono boost in the Zealot, though, these SCVs are in a whole lot of trouble. Barracks is only 50% of the way finished. Lots of damage, though. This gateway is taking lots of damage. I'm not sure if he's going to have time. This is going to be a very, very close call. Coming down with another gateway, canceling the first. And is that going to force Reen to continue to attack that? Yeah, he's deciding to go and continue to attack that, but with much less SCVs. Once this Marine comes out, he's going to be able to start taking some pop shots at that. But no, forced again to take more SCVs off the line, continue to try to do damage. If Reen can get this up and get a Zealot out, GoOdy again is going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Over in his base, is he preparing for any transitions or anything? No, he's just continuing up what he's doing. Needs to get at least to that 100, hopefully even 200 minerals so that he can get a Zealot or 2 in. This first gateway really damaged, really low. First Marine is out, second Marine on the way. So if you guys are wondering how to deal with a proxy 2-gate in your base, this is probably going to be a good way to do it. Take a bunch of SCVs off your line, try to get these gateways nice and low, but still I think the Zealot's going to make it in. First Zealot going to be chrono boosted right now. Not sure how much damage it's going to do, though. Going down way too fast, and that is very unfortunate for Reen. Taking very heavy losses at the start of the game. Losing one gateway. He did cancel that one that was building. Losing an entire gateway. Also losing this pylon back in his base. Forced to come down with these gateways to even just try to defend himself. We are, of course, going to be seeing a counter push from GoOdy into Reen's base. Why would he not? He knows that Reen is severely behind. He knows that he doesn't have any cybernetics core tech. It's just not possible. He didn't have the resources at this point in the game. Going to be moving out. Reen's going to be moving out with his probe to try to scout his opponent, try to see if that counter push is coming. He wants to grab that Xel'Naga tower to see it in action. Going to be coming out with a Zealot right now. Cybernetics core coming down, getting some gas as well so he can start getting those stalkers. Again, he's probably very, very fearful right now of a counter push, and I'm not sure why GoOdy, in fact, isn't moving out with these Marines. Moving out with a couple Marines, maybe an SCV or 2, trying to drop a bunker inside of Reen's base. That could do a lot of damage, could be very devastating. Second gateway right now up for Reen as well. SCV kind of just chilling out of Reen's base. Wants to see if any expansion goes down so he can be prepared for it. But no, it looks like a counter push is not going to be coming for GoOdy. In fact, GoOdy is going to be bunkering up. He is fearful of continuous pressure. Surprised. Yeah, that's the word that I'd be looking for. I'm a little surprised that that counterattack didn't come. When someone proxies in your base like that, when you kill 2 buildings of theirs, a gateway and a pylon, you know for a fact they're severely behind. Now, obviously, GoOdy was behind as well. He took SCVs off the line, so that stopped him from mining for quite some time. So maybe that was his thought process. He said, well, I wasn't mining for a long time. My opponent was, so he probably has stuff in his base to deal with any counter push that I could come out with. It is a little unfortunate, though, that he couldn't capitalize on that advantage that he got from killing off those 2 buildings. Just going to take it, cut his losses, and stay with that, basically. So coming out with some sentries right now to prevent any push that he may be seeing from his opponent, GoOdy. Reen's going to be looking to basically force field that ramp when any push comes, and going to be going for an expansion as well, so being a little risky here at this point. Again, that counter push likely, but I don't know, I guess not. Tech Lab going to be coming down on this factory here, also going up to Starport, so GoOdy going with the good old classic 1-1-1 build. One of each building, 1-1-1 makes a whole lot of sense. Tech Lab coming down on GoOdy's barracks as well. Probably going to be getting some upgrades for those Marines and Marauders, some stim packs, some combat shield, maybe some concussive shell. We'll see what he decides to go with. And that 4-gate going to be coming out for Reen. So he's sticking with that 4-gate. Once this expansion comes up, he's going to be able to get another building or two. Also coming out with a bunch more sentries. He's really going to be looking to rely on those force fields if any push does come. And there is that additional building. Again, you can afford more than 4 buildings once you're on 2 bases. And he's going to be on 2 bases very shortly. Has been getting a sizable amount of workers. In fact, let's take a look here at that income tab. They are close to even, but no, Reen is just a little bit ahead. That is 29 to 26. So Reen definitely going to be working on his economy pretty hard so that he can saturate that expansion once it goes ahead and get up. Looks like we're seeing some cloaked banshees coming over here from GoOdy, so he's going to be preparing to push out with that. He's kind of hoping that there was no robotics facility over here for Reen, but again, we do see that up. So if he gets an observer up, he should be okay to defend against that. And Dark has left the game, in case you were wondering. That did just take place. I've had people ask why there are people leaving games and how there are people observing the games. Realize that a lot of these games professional players play are custom games so that they can set up the match. You know, they don't just randomly meet in the ladder. And you can see in this game here, there are a whole bunch of observers. So people just kind of watching what's going on, checking out the game. Maybe some people commentating on it as well. Going to be pushing forward with this Stalker, taking out GoOdy's SCV. So Reen gets a victory there, although he took some heavy losses early in the game. And this Banshee is probably going to wreak some havoc over here. That observer is coming out right now, though. Just finished for Reen. I think it finished. There was an observer somewhere, wasn't there? I don't even know what's going on. Where is it? There we go. So there is an observer over here. We just don't know where it is. It's checking out his main mineral line, so he's preparing for any sort of Banshee. But it's going to be coming over here at his natural. The cloak has finished researching, so he's going to drop that down as soon as any threat comes in. Until then, he's going to save up his energy and continue to do pop shots, continue to pick off any probes that he can. Stalkers and sentries moving forward. Cloak going down, but it wasn't aware of that observer, and he should be losing this Banshee. Does he get it away? He does. Excellent flight by the Banshee mistress there. She did a great job of flying away. She definitely earned her wings there. Coming out with nothing at the moment from the starport. Also coming out with some siege tanks. Marines, that stim pack being upgraded with all these Marines. Probably going to be seeing a combat shield come down as well. No expansion. Again, GoOdy deciding not to expand right now, staying on the 1 base, even though he knows his opponent does have that expansion up. That can be a little dangerous. He doesn't want to do this for too long. He is going to want to push out at this point if he decides to continue to go without an expansion, because Reen's going to start to slowly and slowly get more and more of an economic advantage. And if that happens for too long, then GoOdy's going to just fall way too far behind. He's not going to be able to keep up with his opponent and the amount of resources he has, and as such he won't get as strong of an army. Seeing a robotics bay coming down as well for Reen, so it looks like we're going to be seeing some Colossus coming out, and that's going to be a little bit devastating to this Marine heavy army. He's going to really rely on the siege tank fire as well as these Banshees to try to pick out any Colossus that may be coming out on the board. We did see that that bunker get dropped though, so it looks like we're going to be seeing a push here from GoOdy, moving out with this Marine heavy army, just sticking with that stim pack for now. No combat shield, also coming out with these siege tanks, and a medevac's going to be joining the fray. A couple of Banshees, so this should be a pretty strong push, especially if you can get in there before that first Colossus hits the board. Again, lots of Marines, SCVs to distract some fire as well, to be used for some repairing. We're going to have no problem picking up this army. Taking out the Zealot. Stalkers are going to fall very quickly as well. And does Reen have enough to deal with this? I don't think he does. Warping in 4 Zealots, going to try to use them to defend. Lots of Marines though, especially with Stimpack, going to be very hard to deal with. Bunker trying to go down to help as well. Second bunker trying to go down. Marines blocking any units from getting up on the siege tanks. Siege tanks doing lots of damage, not in siege mode though, just using their regular attack, and you can see the amount of damage they do. Probes moving in to help with the damage as well, not taking out that siege tech though. They tried valiantly, but they were unable to, and these Banshees, Marines, and siege tanks are doing lots and lots of damage to Reen's units. He's lost the majority of his units, lost all of the probes here at the natural. He's going to be losing the natural likely as well. He doesn't have quite enough to defend against this yet. Sitting on a lot of resources though, just waiting for this Warp Gate research to finish. First Colossus coming out, so this could help quite a bit, especially without that siege tech for GoOdy here. He's going to have to watch out for those Banshees though. He doesn't want to get picked off by those. All the Marines going down very, very quickly. Stalkers picking off those Banshees. Those siege tanks continuing to do lots of damage though, and losing the Colossus, that was terrible for him. He definitely didn't want to lose that. It's going to set him back quite a bit. We are seeing some reinforcements coming in here for GoOdy, some SCV reinforcements in fact, and if he loses his expansion, it could be the end of the game. Expansion goes down, trying to move forward with additional probes. Here are these stalkers trying to help as well, but they're not going to be quite enough against those siege tanks and marines, and those medevacs of course supporting, keeping those marines up and allowing for some more mobility. But the big thing was the vision there. He was able to get vision with the banshees and the medevacs of the high ground, and that's why he was able to pick off that Colossus over there. And now that the siege tech is up, very, very difficult situation here for Reen. I'm not sure he's going to be able to defend it. He can try to force field the ramp, but that's not even going to do that much with these medevacs here. He can just lift up and drop in the base, and I don't know, Reen is kind of backed into a corner here, and GoOdy obviously capitalizing on this push by dropping down an expansion, coming down with an orbital command for that as well. GoOdy's just going to be bunkering up outside of Reen's base and saying, I dare you to try to move out at this point. Not seeing another Colossus though. We are in fact seeing a Warp Prism come out for Reen, so maybe he's going to be trying to drop in the back of GoOdy's base, try to see what damage he can do as well. But with these siege tanks and marines here defending, I don't think that that's going to be that effective. Yeah, picking up those Zealots, going to be trying to push out. Looks like Reen's in kind of a tough situation. Bunch of siege tanks, bunker here with a couple marines. Again, with those medevacs, he's going to have no problem pushing on into his base if he decides to do so. Yeah, I am not sure. Basically, unless Reen does a whole bunch of damage with the Zealot drop over here, he's just way too far behind at this point. Again, GoOdy's going to be pulling more and more ahead as time goes on. And Reen being stuck in his base here, unable to expand, it puts him in a very tough situation indeed. Coming out with an Immortal as well, so going to be trying to use those to contend with those siege tanks. Here comes that attempted drop. Looks like GoOdy did spot that though. He should be aware of this. Yes, moving down with marines and taking that out before it could even drop. So taking out the War Prism before it can even drop, and Reen does go ahead and call good game. It's a pretty good game, pretty unorthodox play. We saw that opening proxy gateway rush by Reen that was unfortunately unsuccessful for him, but good job on GoOdy at defending against that. Hopefully you guys took a little note from that as to how to defend. They're seeing a big strong counter push with marines and siege tanks from GoOdy, taking out that expansion and then sieging up and bunkering up outside of his base. It was a little bit too much for Reen to handle. So once again guys, this has been Force from Force Strategy Gaming. If you guys like our videos and you like what's going on here, please do go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Keep watching and keep owning, guys. Spreading out the units here, good job by Rhett. That's basically what you want to do if an engagement comes down. If OGS's units come down right now, he's going to be able to hit from multiple angles, and that's basically what you want to do as Zerg. Moving across the two different paths, trying to prevent getting destroyed by force fields, basically. Force fields going down, though, doing a good job of blocking pretty much all of those Zerglings. And wow, good force fields here by OGS. We're going to take a lot of roach loss here. This is a little bit unfortunate for Rhett.